So I thought we'd have a look at what Mr. Infantino's been up to. You know, he of the World Cup and of the Trump friendliness, and the man who presented Trump with the FIFA inaugural World Peace Prize.
Yes.
I don't know, do you remember that?
I do.
Well, there's been a bit of controversy. Have you been reading about it? Have you seen any of it?
Yes, but I'll let you go first.
Yeah, bit of controversy in the last week, because it would seem that Mr. Infantino and I presume he's been talking to people at FIFA as well, because he's got this package that he's sprung on everybody. Yeah. He wants to commercialise what FIFA are doing and effectively siphon off an element of their activities into a private company. So creating a subsidiary, which he wants to call FIFA Forward Enterprises, FFE. And the new entity is going to deal with event operations, broadcasting, sponsorship, ticketing, and licensing.
Sounds like where all the money is.
Well, exactly. It's not
What do the other lot do?
Well, that's right. The governance will stay with
the
governance will stay. So they will decide whether you have a hydration break or whether whether you can walk 2 spaces. But all the money is veering off into this new entity, FFE. Right. Now, the plan is that FIFA's FFE will have a $20 billion valuation. Okay. The commercial spin-off. That's what they reckon. And they're going to sell minority stakes. So not a majority stake, but sell minority stakes to raise $4.2 billion extra to private investors.
Okay.
Now, where these private investors come from and how they manage to keep them at a minority stake, I'm not quite sure, because the whole of the entity is being sold, but they're going to limit the percentage that they can buy. That's the theory. Anyway, this is a new idea, clearly, and it's the main player. Have you heard who the main player is in this? The man who's behind putting this all together and is
Joshua Kushner, is it? Is that
absolutely
right?
Yeah. Yes. It's Joshua Kushner. Now you may know that name from somewhere.
Yeah, because Jared Kushner is Trump's son-in-law.
That's right. Yeah. And this is his brother, from what I understand.
Yeah.
And he's involved in this commercial spin-off. His capital vehicle, as he calls it, Thrive Eternal, which is the company that he runs, will be operating this and obviously making a lot of money out of
fees,
selling on. And personally, I take it, will be making a lot of money out of it. Now, what I find quite surprising about all this is that none of the other federations have been consulted on this. So UEFA, as you probably heard, are furious. Absolutely livid.
Yeah,
and they've started talking about the soul of football, and there's a lot of emotion going into this and what have you, which I find quite interesting as well. And even our old friend Sepp Blatter, who of course was he's livid because he seems to be suggesting that it's all a bit money around it, because he obviously was hoofed out as the FIFA president many years ago. So. I guess you'd be interested to know, and what I found quite interesting was this isn't a long-term proposition that the different federations around the world are going to have time to think about. They're meant to make a decision or submit letters of intent by the end of September. Okay. This is them effectively agreeing to this proposal.
2 months.
And by the end of October, private investors must fully transfer the target $4.2 billion into funding directly to FIFA. So they've only got to the end of October for this whole project, including any consultation, to be completed, and only till the end of September for the other federations to sign up to this. So what's that? Okay. Less than 8 weeks, basically, isn't it?
Less than 8 weeks. And, most of Europe's on holiday, isn't it? Yeah. But it's a couple of things there then. First of all, I just come across a headline this morning, I think, that said that UEFA would withdraw from the World Cup if this goes ahead, and presumably would not participate in the sale. But the thing missing, I mean, your facts are very interesting, but the thing missing for me is why? What is Mr. Infantino saying to? What is he saying to the members, the member associations? Why? What's the upside for football?
Well, the argument is that by commercializing their assets effectively,
Yeah.
their World Cup and the likes, that they'll be able to raise more money to pump into grassroots in other areas of the world. I mean, he's already offered an immediate 20 million to every federation who agrees this. Now, in other parts of the world, 20 million here, I mean, that's like chicken feed, isn't it, to pump it into the FA. But if you're looking at Curacao or places like that where there's not a lot of money in football, 20 million is a lot of money. And they're looking at ongoing payments of that amount year on year on year. So that's quite attractive to the smaller federations.
But I guess the bit I'm struggling with, and no doubt the affiliated football associations would say, national football associations would say, is what is it that FIFA can't do with all their commercial departments and expertise now in commercialisation, that bringing in private investors who basically are just going to be putting money in, they're not going to be doing anything. What is it that will happen in the future with this new constitution? So I presume that Infantino must lay that out somewhere, or is it just hot air?
Well, I guess, he's been having conversations clearly with people in America, I would contend. I mean,
it would look that way. Well, clearly, if Joshua What's-it's involved.
Most of those involved in this, I mean, JP Morgan's involved in this as well. There's big names. Yeah, there's big names involved in this proposal. Okay. And I'm guessing they've been telling him that we can maximize the revenue from what you've got available at the moment over and above what you've been able to do on your own. I can only get, there's no immediate. I mean, whether that's in the proposal that he's going to send out to the federations or not, I don't know. The information that I've seen, there's no, immediate justification for it.
Are you okay to take some breaking news on this? Can I?
Yeah, sure, of course.
I just had flash up on my screen and just looked on my phone. The first headline in the sports section of the Times 5 minutes ago. All European countries boycott World Cup in protest against FIFA sell-off.
Crikey.
So it's happened.
Well, that's the end of that proposal then, isn't it? I would contend.
Yeah.
I mean, this is what happened with the Super League to a degree, wasn't it?
It's exactly what I was thinking of. What the egotistical leadership don't realise is this is a game that people really do feel is owned at the grassroots, albeit for some stupid reason we worship overpaid sports stars in this respect.
Yeah.
We still feel it's ours, and in many other countries it's similar. And I think they underestimate, if you like, how democratized soccer is, which is surprising with Infantino, given, he is a smart guy. Let's see. He is an odd character, but he's a smart guy.
Yeah. Now because one of the questions that I had here that I was going to discuss with you is, given that he's been liaising with Trump, the way that Trump operates and the way that Infantino would have, in my view, is maybe operating here, is that this is a starting position in terms of a negotiation, that he's thrown this up in the air and see what sticks
to get
UEFA to come in and sort of negotiate it down to a level that they can all accept. Because I can't imagine that he wouldn't have imagined that this would have been UEFA's reaction.
Yes.
Because I think that was inevitable.
Yes.
And he must know that if Europe aren't going to be part of the World Cup, or for that matter,
he hasn't got a World Cup.
He hasn't got exactly. No. And the two, he can get all the, no disrespect, but he can get all the nations from Oceania and Africa and what have you all together. Yeah. But without the European nations, you should say, it's a pointless exercise. So if he knew that was then you've got to wonder what was going on in his mind.
But I think what is interesting, what they've said is not that they won't invest, but they'll boycott the World Cup.
Right.
So I haven't had time, obviously, to read the article.
No.
But my sense is they're saying that they're going to do this if he doesn't take this off the table. And I think he will end up taking this off the table. I can't see that even a negotiated settlement around this makes any sense at all. They made record billions, I don't know, 8 billion or something from the World Cup in the nicest way. How much more do you need?
Yeah. I don't get where he's, this is like shotgun marriage, isn't it? Trying to force people into, having a 2 months, was it? That they've got to make a decision on this. I just think it's absurd. But then I'm trying to work out, as you quite rightly pointed out, he's not a stupid man. I think he's been a bit daft in some of his behaviour, if I'm honest. And whether this, unless there is some greater plan behind this weakens his position somewhat, doesn't it? He can't stay on, surely, as FIFA president. If if this sort of split continues, as you say, he's got to take it off the table. Then why in heaven's name did you put it on the table in the first place? I mean, Trump's going to make some comment about this, I have no doubt, at some point in the next, because the other argument was, sorry, I appreciate you were about to say something. The other argument was that from UEFA and those people who are against this is that in terms of the pressure they'd be under to maximise money going into the game, they'd have to hold the World Cup in the States quite regularly, because that's where the money is. That's where they wouldn't be holding it in, like, the next time round. Morocco, isn't it? Morocco, Spain, and Portugal.
Yeah. But I would take the sort of the greater view is that this need to make money. But what for? The football associations, certainly the European ones, have money, and it's great that UEFA will have money because they run their own tournament, don't they? They run the Champions League and they run the Euros.
Yeah.
Yes, they must make a fair few quid out of that. This need to make money, can't somebody just get off the treadmill and go, no, the need is to do what's best for the sport. And the people
in theory, it's a non-profit at the moment,
non-profit,
isn't it, FIFA?
Well, that's another thing, because surely the question that, yes, would that status, because it's in Switzerland, isn't it?
Well, the governance area would stay non-profit, I'm sure.
I see. Yeah.
But not the spin-off.
Okay.
The spin-off where all the power would lie ultimately, wouldn't it? At the end of the day,
I guess. You're right. But I guess for me is we've had Blatter, we've had, who's the other one? Who was it? Platini got a little bit of a bad rep there. We've had Infantino. Well, can't we just have someone normal? So, I mean, the European UEFA fella, he looks all right. Seferin. You never see him coming up with crazy things. And I love the way he's like a machine when he hands the medals out. You noticed? He takes it behind his back. Dum, dum, dum. So purely on that basis alone, and the fact he doesn't wear white trainers with a suit, I'm saying bring Mr. Seferin in because he sounds normal.
Yeah. They need to, they need to, I mean, I wonder if it's once they're appointed to that position or not, because I think he might have been perceived as quite normal, Mr. Infantino, before he took up the role, but maybe they're infected,
Yeah. Maybe a culture
when
thing.
They get
no,
into
I agree.
That role, and because I just think it's the power goes to their head. But I agree with you. But maybe when I was looking at this morning, when I was researching this, my initial reaction to this, because I thought I'd try and give it a balanced, objective view, was what's the difference between this and what the Premiership does?
Yeah.
Because there's loads of money in the Premiership, isn't there?
Yeah.
But of course, the Premiership isn't listed. The Premiership is a private limited company owned by the clubs within the Premiership. But there's still loads of money there. I mean, goodness only that generates enough money. And there are the billionaires and the millionaires that own the clubs within the Premiership are still, in principle, making money out of it.
But there's a very high threshold for changes, isn't there? It's like 3/4 have to vote for something.
Right.
It's a bit like a company for a special resolution. That's something else I read about Infantino's proposal. He's suggesting it's only a majority have to agree. Whereas I think in their constitution for significant things, it is 75%. So you could have the position where the smaller nations, quite attracted by the 20 million, agree. So you could get your 51% majority. But the likes of Europe, I'm not sure about South Americans, but say, well, okay, we've not won the. You've won the vote, but we're not taking part in the World Cup.
We're not going to have anything to do with it.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
I think you're right in what you were saying.
I think that's what would happen.
From what I remember looking at the percentages yesterday, I think they other than Europe make up about 65% of the voting power.
Well, there we are then.
And then 35. But then when you look at it in terms of how much money these countries generate, then the boot is well on the other foot.
The other foot.
Yeah. But it'd be interesting to see how I think he's going to have to go. And I can't see how he can survive this. I think he's got far too close to the Trump family and big business. And that, I think, in Europe, that causes the disgust because it's a total conflict of interest, isn't
I think
it?
that you hit the nail on the head. I think there's something about this position, and therefore there's something about the culture of FIFA that just doesn't work for the ordinary football fan. You know, take it down to the likes of you, me, and everyone else. And whenever you see someone speak, you're thinking, I really don't like the sound of this, whether it's a serious matter or some of these off-the-cuff things he says. That's an indication that credibility is very, very low. And for me, whatever he proposes comes from a low credibility position. And a degree of suspicion. And this one, well, it takes the biscuit on that. So I think you're right. I think this will not go through. And even if it does, with Europe withdrawing from the World Cup and presumably the World Club Championship, that's the end of it. That's the end of him.
That's the end of, absolutely.